What's up, everybody? So, I'm going to talk about how difficult it is to turn off being a counselor. Man, turning off being a counselor. I'm telling you, it is not the easiest thing in the world. Let me tell you. Turning off or disengaging being a counselor means trying to not make everything about psychoanalysis or Carl Jungian archetype theory. The list goes on. I feel like a lot of my friends know me as Ramina the counselor, but they don't realize how hard it is to hear about some of their stories and not want to give them advice that you would give to your patients or your clients. I mean, one of the things that I feel like, aside from what I'm about to tell you about disengaging, uh, from clients, is it's very hard for me to make guy friends. And I say that because I want to kind of give you a little snippet of my life from a counseling perspective. But I'm not going to divulge too much information, okay? But I'm going to see what you can pick up from this. And what I want you to think about is an ACE score. And so, what ACE means in counseling is an adverse childhood experience. And this doesn't necessarily have to only relate to childhood, it could relate to adulthood or how childhood has affected the presenting adult. And so that information that I gave you, that would have saved you about $5,000, I would say, from a university. Okay? Yeah, because I paid a lot for university out of my own pocket. Okay. Yeah. And I wish I made more as a counselor, but yeah, whatever. So again, try to pick up on some of the adverse childhood experiences out of my life when I give you my little snippet of why I have such a hard time with bonding with other males. So, I grew up without a daddy. Yep, I grew up without a dad. And yeah, it sucked, you know what I mean? Because I saw other people with their fathers, playing baseball, playing football. And whenever I would spend the night at people's houses, it would often suck because, I never got to share that same experience with my own dad. So yeah, that sucked. I also feel like with a lot of the guys, they bullied me at school because, I had the long hair and I had, the strange accent, which is, both from American culture and Jamaican culture. And so that didn't go so well with the guy friends that I had. The girlfriends, that was a different story. Like, I was able to bond with them. I was able to, follow them around and whatever. And I kind of felt like a caretaker in a way, you know. Um, I grew up with brothers, and a sister. All of their dads knew them and, took care of them and everything. But I had to take care of my brothers and sister, and I didn't have that guiding figure. I didn't have that person that could teach me. Yeah. So I also came from a single parent household, single mom, so I had to help her out. I had to be the man of the house at times, you know. And again, I want you to pick up on some of those adverse childhood experiences because, I'm going to kind of segue that into the rest of our conversation for today. So I think that a lot of the things that I see in people, I see in myself. Um, I see how some of their adverse childhood experiences, and this would be from assessments that we would take, this would be from our interactions with these clients. I feel that they often come to me with all of these things, and I feel like where people would kind of say like their behaviors aren't valid, I have to disagree. And again, it's all from relatable experience. Because again, even though I went to college, even though I went to, university at a private school, yeah, it was private and I had to pay every cent of it. You know, it's crazy because I still see myself as the struggling guy that's trying to make it in his career and not crack, you know? And oh, get this, I also have bipolar disorder, And so that's something that I struggle with, and I didn't even know I was struggling with it. You know what I mean? And I'm not letting it down me. I'm actually using this to call it my superpower because where people say that bipolar disorder is a debilitating disease, it's not. It's not. And hopefully, I can find other ways other than this medication that they're giving me, to cope and be creative, just like I'm trying to get my clients to be more so in their care. And so, with these adverse childhood experiences, they often weigh on me because whenever I see stuff like this, like, poverty and people needing help as far as like childcare and everything like that, I can overwhelm myself at times without even realizing it. And because I'm a counselor and caretaker, that that's where it all goes to hell for me. It's like my kryptonite is that effort for social change. And I know that I can't help everybody, but it often feels like I have to. And I feel like that's why I'm so-called manic, right? That's my mania, helping and overexerting myself for the sake of other people. But I don't get enough of that self-care for myself. And that's what sucks. I want you to think of an adverse childhood experience that you've struggled with. And I want you to think about some of the themes of your life, whether they be caretaker, cook, chef, social media personnel, counselor, sanitation worker. What are some of the themes of your life? And go ahead and drop them in the comments at Original Mingler on all the socials. I want to know what you're going through. Let's take the focus off of me because I feel like once you realize some of the problems and some of the themes in your life, maybe they can become less of problems. And I'm giving you a free counseling session, okay? I'm not charging you for this one, but this is what I hope to do with the Mingle Mode Network and Mel's Medium. Take care.